What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Manbitesfilm, episode 60. As always, I am one of your hosts, Branden. Joining me is the regular crew. Clue. I'm going to start saying Clue just to make fun of myself. I got the dankest of the danks, Mr. William.
What? Hi, everybody.
He was like, what?
He just got so confused right now.
Huh? And, of course, that other man is my lovely cousin, Luis.
Oh, look at that. This week I get the lovely. I don't get the bipolar bitch.
No, you got the lovely one. I'm in a good mood. As always.
He just got made.
Yeah, exactly. That shit, that was not
That's
a
what
shit.
happens when you get pegged right before the show starts.
Right?
No. So I went to take a poopy break. before
That's
the
what he
show.
calls it, a poopy break.
And
Yeah, exactly.
William and my cousin swear that I got laid because my girlfriend's in the room. But I did not. I just took a 5-minute shit.
It was a lot more than 5 minutes, dude.
Okay, whatever. 10. Max 10. Sorry.
I don't know.
You shouldn't be talking because you're like the master of like 30-minute shits, okay? So let's not go down that road.
Yeah, but he takes the shit till like 2 o'clock in the morning, so we all wake up to like 17 different photoshopped pictures.
Dude. As always, if you are joining us for the first time or the 60th time, we are a weekly movie podcast where we talk about movie news, we review one movie altogether, and at the end we review 3 individual movies. So, Lewis, take it away with the movie news.
So I was surprised today itself. Like this was the first thing I saw when I got out of work today, and it blew my fucking socks off. And I want to talk about this because this is going to be the next milestone in humanity. And I think that it's not technically movie news, but technically it is because so many amazing movies are based off of this. My third favorite film of all time, obviously in there. And we're going to play a clip straight from the national website. So I want both of you to hear this for the first time and see what you think, and I want to get your actual reactions while watching this. So we are going to play the clip right now.
50 years ago, we pioneered a path to the moon. The trail we blazed cut through the fictions of science and showed us all what was possible.
It's very pretty out here.
Today, our calling to explore is even greater. To go farther, we must be able to sustain missions of greater distance and duration. We must use the resources we find at our destinations. We must overcome radiation, isolation, gravity, and extreme environments like never before. These are the challenges we face to push the bounds of humanity. We're going to the moon to stay by 2024, and this is how.
This all starts with the ability to get larger, heavier payloads off-planet and beyond Earth's gravity.
For this, we designed an entirely new rocket.
The Space Launch System. SLS will be the most powerful rocket ever developed.
And with components in production
And more in testing?
This system is capable of being the catalyst for deep space missions
we need a capsule.
that can support humans from launch
through deep space and return safely back to Earth.
For this, we've built Orion.
This is NASA's next-generation human space capsule.
Using data from lunar orbiters that continue to reveal the moon's hazards and resources,
we're currently developing an entirely new approach to landing and operating on the moon.
Using our commercial partners to deliver science instruments and robotics to the surface, we are paving the way for human missions in 2024.
Our charge is to go quickly and to stay, to press our collective efforts forward with a fervor that will see us return to the moon in a manner that is wholly different than 50 years ago.
We want lunar landers that are reusable.
That can land anywhere on the lunar surface. The simplest way to do so is to give them a platform in orbit around the moon from which to transition.
An orbiting platform to host deep space experiments and be a waypoint for human capsules. We call this lunar outpost Gateway.
The beauty of the Gateway is that it can be moved between orbits.
It will balance between the Earth and Moon's gravity.
In a position that is ideal for launching even deeper space missions.
In 2009, we learned that the moon contains millions of tons of water ice.
This ice can be extracted and purified for water. It can be separated in oxygen for breathing or hydrogen for rocket fuel.
The moon is quite uniquely suited
to prepare us and propel us to Mars and beyond.
This is what we're building.
This is what we're training for.
This we can replicate throughout the solar system.
This is the next chapter of human space exploration.
Humans are the most fragile element of this entire endeavor, and yet we go for humanity. We go to the moon and on to Mars to seek knowledge and understanding and to share it with all. We go knowing our efforts will create opportunities that cannot be foreseen. We go because we are destined to explore and see it with our own eyes. We turn towards the moon now, not as a conclusion, but as preparation, as a checkpoint toward all that lies beyond. Our greatest adventures remain ahead of us. We are going.
We're going.
We are going.
We are going.
We're going.
So yeah, guys, that's incredible. We're witnessing what JFK did in the 60s live right now, and nobody's talking about this. Not a single news station is bringing this up. Nobody. It's complete shut down. Why? Because of one person presenting it, and it was actually presented by Trump. And the reason why nobody's talking about it is because of that. And this is such an important event that is going on, and even though he has nothing to do with this is nothing to do with Trump being in power or doing any of that stuff. This is completely NASA's creation. This is completely NASA's success story and achievement and goal if we do succeed in arriving at the moon in this time frame. And this is, like they said, this is a huge step forward. This is something that is going to be able to create what all those sci-fi movies are about. Exploration out in outer space. And I mean, god damn, that's fucking amazing that happened in our lifetime.
How old is this video? Or how new? Like, is it really new?
Just a week old.
Oh, it's a week. Oh, wow. So, yeah, you're right, because I haven't heard diddly shit about this.
Nothing. This
Not
is
at all.
a week and a half old, actually, technically. And not a single word. Nobody's talking about it. And this is such an important thing. This is, I mean, when they said they were going to the moon before, that was national news, and all the people could talk about for 2 weeks was that. There was nothing else on TV, and now nothing. It's like, what is going on, people? Go to the NASA site, explore the NASA site. The more hits that it gets, the more powerful this is going to be, and the more popular, this actually gets, and this event gets, the more people, the more chances that they're actually going to do more missions like this, because they see people are actually interested. William, what are your thoughts?
Well, my video wouldn't play because I have the headset and I'm on the phone, so therefore it won't
did you hear mine?
Overplay. But I could hear both, like, because you guys started at separate times, it kind of had like an echo effect, which is fine. But I mean, you're right. It's something that, people are like, oh, well, we've been to the moon before. Yeah, but I mean, we do a million things every day, the same.
And it's not going to the moon. We're building something on the moon.
Yeah, this is like for people to live.
It's like we're going to the moon and we're building something. It's like, okay, this is like, the next step. And
all I want to say is that the narrator had the nicest voice.
Right?
God, I swear like that man is in every trailer or something. Like, that man has the deepest just suit. Like, it's like the epitome of a radio voice. And
speaking of which, I know that you just because you're talking about like announcer voice and whatnot. Did you guys hear that the announcer voice, quote unquote, the announcer voice for the American version of Dragon Ball Z passed away this past week?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
really?
He passed
the one
away.
that we just saw at MegaCon?
You saw him at MegaCon?
Was he? No, Vegeta was at MegaCon.
No, both of them were at MegaCon.
Wait, you're talking about the announcer, like, next time on Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
that guy?
Oh, okay.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, him.
Damn.
He was the thing that he passed away earlier this week, which is a bummer.
R.I.P., man.
But
seriously. But yeah, like this is incredible, honestly. Like I'm so
This is the beginning, man. This is the beginning of us going to the stars.
Yeah, because since William didn't hear the whole thing, they actually brought up the fact that they could actually harvest things from the moon, like the minerals and stuff like that we need to sustain not only life but fuel. They found a way to harvest it and change it into what they need to use. Yeah. So that means we could leapfrog from planet to planet and grab resources from each of those planets.
That's incredible. Like I said, this is the beginning, you know, like it's like baby steps. You go to the moon, then, you know, you go to Mars or whatnot. I doubt we could ever go to like Mercury or Venus because they are way too close to the sun, but
but we could go to Uranus.
We could go further than Mars. We could go to Neptune, Uranus. We could go to Jupiter, maybe Pluto. But the crazy thing is, to a point, if we ever get to a point where we can leave our solar system,
that's gonna be incredible.
Which I don't know if any three of us will see that in our lifetime. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We will.
Well, I mean, we never thought that we'd see the Cubs win the World Series, but I mean, here we are. So you never know.
Like where the what's that the one with the golden vinyls, the golden records on it? You know what I'm talking about?
Voyager.
Voyager, thank you. I was like Challenger, and I'm like, no, Challenger's the one that
Voyager
exploded.
just got out of the solar system now.
Yeah, isn't Voyager in like the Oort cloud, which is like past Pluto or some shit like that?
Yeah, we don't know if it's going past or where it is, but yeah.
Yeah, and they launched that thing, mind you, they're using technology that's like, what, 40 years, 50 years at this point, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's no thrusters on it, there's no minerals on it. It's literally just using the gravitational force of the planets.
Yeah, which is insane. So, man, holy shit, like, can you imagine, like, if it gets to a point where we could take, like a plane that is capable of leaving the atmosphere to take us to the moon or something like that?
Which Elon Musk is already working on that.
Yeah, Elon Musk
is already working on that. So, I mean, and also the other thing that they brought up was that they're going to be working with private businesses to...
Yeah, like Virgin Airlines or Virgin and Elon and Tesla.
I remember there was a tweet by some mogul that was like, we're going to beat Elon Musk to the moon. We're building a rocket going to beat it to the moon. And
the guy from Amazon.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And Musk's response was simple. He tweets back, "Do it, pussy."
Well, honestly,
Jeff
Bezos is the richest man in the world. I think his net worth is like somewhere in the 100 billions. If there's anyone in this planet that has the economic status that is capable of doing this, is definitely Jeff Bezos. So
because he's launching the blue ball. The
what?
It's called blue ball.
I'm sure it is.
Oh my god!
Like, wow, really, guys?
It's going to be commanded by Commander D's nuts.
So honestly, I'm cool. I love space. This is super cool, but of course we're like, still in the early concepts of this. Like, they say 2024. I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
The thing is, though, is that they gave a time limit. NASA doesn't give time limits. They say within the next 10 years, the next 20 years, unless they're actually going for this goal. Like, there's no way that they could give a date and back out of the public like that. They won't do that.
See, what we need is another space race with some other foreign country. The reason why we had so much technological advancement and how quickly we went to space and the moon was because we had, no pun intended on this one, a rocket apparatus. Because we were trying to beat the fucking Russians.
Yeah.
But now that we're like, we won the piston contest, and we're like, look at us. it's like, okay, we can just sit back. And it's like, no, just keep going. Like, how did we advance so much in in a decade?
Yeah.
And then since 63, I mean, I'm not saying that we haven't had technological advancements since then, but I mean, we went from like looking at the moon to standing on the moon. How are we not living on the fucking moon by now?
True. Yeah, from like 1945 at the end of World War II till, when we landed on the moon, that's not that long, and it's like, holy shit, so much advancement. And then
less than 20 years.
Yeah.
Less than 20 years. And now it's been, 70 years since we landed on the moon? Was it 69?
69, so it's been...
It's 50 years. This year is 50.
So 50 years this year, yeah, 50.
It'll be 50 years.
That's a long time.
Nothing.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, you're talking about landing on the moon, and they did missions for 5 years. What else is there to explore on the moon that you can't explore from here? Why are you going to waste money on landing on the moon when you could just observe it and have the minerals that were already possessed from the moon landings, the 5 missions that they did? So technically, they didn't need to go back to the moon to research anymore. So it's kind of pointless. It's like, okay, what's the what's the point of spending all that money to go out there when you don't need to? You could observe from it and figure out something like they just did now to land and build on the moon. Once you have that, then you could go forward in the next step. It's only been 50 years, guys. 50 years in the lifetime of humanity is nothing. Just because we're used to the huge increases in technology and everything doesn't mean that we're able to sustain our own lives to travel somewhere. So technology is finally advancing enough where we can do that, and we would be able to.
I just want us to get to a point where, like, how, I don't know how many episodes ago when I reviewed Gundam, like, to get to a point where we're just living in colonies in space and stuff like that and using giant robots for warfare. That'd be cool as fuck. That's never gonna happen. Or I don't know if that'll ever happen. Who knows? Maybe hundreds of years from now, we're at that point where, we're so overpopulated that if we haven't killed ourselves off or killed our planet, then we're living somewhere in space.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I think that's a very important topic. And please stay tuned to Diversely Geek. We're actually going to be dropping a special episode with some fantastic guests and some fantastic hosts as well. And we're going to be talking about the new space race that just got launched.
Some fantastic beasts. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. I was going to do it, but I'm like, nah, it doesn't really fit in. But, if the host does it, then it's cool.
And also on that note, I want to also announce that we are going to be dropping our first episode of Conspiracy Theories on the moon landing anniversary, the 50th moon landing anniversary.
Nice, so, which is July what?
27th, I believe.
We are?
Yes, we are.
William's like, we are? Awesome. Cool. So
it's going to be a monthly special that we're going to do with Retro. So if you've already subscribed to Retro, please check it out and stay tuned. That's going to be dropped once a month only for now.
So give a little, like a little spiel about the show. Like, what about are you going to go into the conspiracies? Like, what's it about?
It is going to be 3 of us just talking trash, talking about the conspiracies themselves, where they came from, their origin of it, and then we'll have a roundtable discussion, the 3 of us, about the history and what our thoughts are, what our perspectives are on it, and if we actually think that this is a valid conspiracy theory or this is just complete bullshit, tinfoil hats, lunatics type of thing.
Gotcha. Ooh, that's going to be fun. Okay, do you have any other movie news, or was the moon
Nope,
thing?
We're saving it for next week, the rest.
Okay, so stay tuned after this quick little break, and we're going to come at you with our new, not-so-new segment, the Movie Bucket List. Alright guys, welcome back for our new segment, not so new, I fucked that up, but I'm going to keep going with it. Movie Bucket List, where William surprises my cousin and myself with one movie off these posters he owns, and then we talk amongst ourselves if it should be on said list. So, William, what is the movie, buddy?
You have to give me a second because my girlfriend just gave me a box, and I need to kind of see what's in the box.
What? Okay. Yeah. This show is it's always.
Are you gonna ask me what's in the box?
What's in the box?
I'm not telling you.
I'm so. This definitely has to do with the movie, but what?
Yeah, it does. What's in the box, man? Obviously, you've never seen the movie because the movie we're covering this week is the movie 7.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was like, huh? What's in the box? I was like, what's in the box? Well, you made it sound like a fucking comedy, so I was like, oh, okay. Holy shit, 7 is amazing. Fuck yes.
Yeah, that movie is great.
So for those that don't know, it's with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Yes. And Kevin Spacey.
Kevin come on. Don't give that.
What?
The Kevin Spacey.
He's in the movie.
He's in the movie. I'm not saying who he is.
So, the movie is about...
the movie is about Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are two detectives, and they're basically trying to find this guy who, the serial killer that is basically killing people based on the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
And the movie's hardcore. There's some of those like murder scenes are pretty rough.
Dude, this is like I could see that the filmmakers studied this before, like filming Saw and working on all those.
They worked on those movies
like that. No. I'm saying like they must have studied this movie before doing that, because this movie kind of takes a lot of those.
What's the one? What is it? Lust? The one that's like the dildo with the spikes on it?
Yes. Dude,
Jesus Christ.
Nuts.
Ugh. Yeah, the movie's great, but I feel like the movie really shines at the end. I'm not gonna spoil, of course, because the ending is huge.
Well, that's when you find out what's in the box!
Yes, that and like just everything that happens, leading up to that part, it's very well done, and it definitely leaves you fucked up.
It's such a good movie.
Yeah, I totally recommend this movie. It's Brad Pitt, I guess you could say, in his prime, like in the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman being Morgan Freeman.
Before he was God.
Before he became the voice of God. I totally love this movie. Every time I catch this on TV, I'm like, man, I need to watch this movie.
Right? How about you, Will?
It sucks when it's on TV, though, because like it's so edited when it's on TV, because there's so much stuff that they can't put on there.
True.
Yo, like this is one of those movies. Like there's some movies you can get away, especially when it comes to like the swearing.
Yes.
There's some movies like Tarantino movies. Like the swearing kind of like overdoes it. So if you cut back on it, whatever. But this is one of those movies that like the swearing all like it makes the character, because like he gets so caught in, and you get like you would swear. It makes it more real than yippee-ki-yay, whatever it is that they edited.
Speaking of that, would you guys rather have on television, so if it's on cable, would you rather them have them bleep out the bad word or to change it with something else?
Bleep.
I would rather a bleep too, because when they change it, it's super corny and you're like, what?
It is.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Every time, really I'd rather just like the bleep, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, okay, I get the gist of what he said. The other time, sometimes like they'll change it with something else, and I'm like, what did he say? What? I have no idea.
I remember, because in Europe, growing up, when the movies make it to television, or even if they're made-for-TV movies, they're not edited, especially in Italy. In Italy, like Italian movies, they will swear up and down, and then when they come on TV, they're not edited.
Yeah, because
there's sexuality in the movie, there's sexuality in the movie. If somebody told you go fuck yourself. When it comes to TV, go fuck yourself. I didn't know that there was a censorship in the States. So when we first moved here, we had HBO, and Speed was like the big movie, right? When it came to HBO, so lots of swearing, lots of this and that, and then it came to like I think it was like Friday night movies or Saturday night movies, like on Fox back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that scene where like Keanu Reeves is talking to Jeff Daniels, and he goes like, "Oh yeah, fuck you, no, fuck you too." And I'm watching it, and he goes, "Forget you, forget you too." It's like, what? Did you say forget you? Like, what? Can you forget you too? And that's when I realized censorship can be fun, but it definitely can ruin a movie as well.
Yeah, most of the time it does.
Yeah, but
I honestly think that this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's on my top 50 of all time because it's just a fucking phenomenal movie. This is one of those movies, like Brandon said, that anytime it comes on the TV or something like that, instantly I will be watching this.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that every once in a blue moon I will put it on because I really enjoy watching this movie.
If you like gritty detective movies, watch Seven. It's a fantastic movie. Not only that, like the cast is incredible. Like, definitely go do yourself a favor. And if you've never watched it, do not get it spoiled whatsoever, please.
Yeah, that's hard nowadays. But honestly, like, just if you love detective stories and you've never seen this is a must.
Yeah, it's definitely really
good. A must because it's that good. It will set the bar for a lot of movies that you've previously watched and just blow them out of the water because the pacing is phenomenal. The David David Fincher behind the steering wheel as a director, he just makes these crazily dark movies that have the perfect pacing to illustrate the points, build the characters, and just flush out this whole magnificent world that they want to put you in because they make you feel every emotion that these detectives go through.
Mm-hmm.
From the moment that they're like exposed to this grittiness, this darkness, to the rain that's involved in every scene, the way that Morgan Freeman is trying to fight himself in every aspect of the film, whether he wants to continue doing this atrocious job, because somebody that has to endure this kind of like nastiness on a regular basis, it gets to you after years.
Oh yeah.
When you're ready to retire, you got to retire, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of cops when they retire or
burn
like
out.
Specifically detectives, like homicide detectives, they're probably all screwed up.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I would put this in like 60 to 70s. I don't think it's like top 50 status, but
really,
yeah, I would definitely still put it in the top like 100, like for sure. How about you guys?
How about you, William?
I would say probably a good top 25 for me.
Damn. Okay.
Because like it was kind of like the first in its kind in its genre. I mean, like, it's not a buddy cop movie. It's not the rookie coming on the force and they have to solve this mystery. It's dark, and it's dark all the way to the end. And even the ending is not your Hollywood ending at the time, especially. So it definitely broke down some barriers. It takes on the 7 deadly sins of the Bible. Like, nobody before then had really took that on and made it into this whole drawn out, like everyone did that. And I'm not trying to give away roles, but everyone I think was very well cast in their roles from, all 3 that we mentioned and the lesser known and then the lesser roles as well. But it was like, it stayed with me till now, but especially when I first saw it, I was like blown away, where I'm like, wow, this is really well done. So yeah, it is definitely a bucket list movie for me, and I would definitely say like top 25.
I would say, what do you call it, 20s to 30s for sure. And for filmmakers, this is a top 20. Like, you have to watch this. This is one of those masterpieces of filmmaking, and this is probably going to make like top 100 films of all time that you have to watch in this last 100 years. You have to watch this. This is a must, and this will be studied by film students because Fincher did such a phenomenal job between the music and everything that was put together in this film. It is something to behold. It keeps you completely entranced from beginning to end. This is almost a 2-hour movie, and it feels like 30 minutes because you're that engrossed in the film. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I definitely yes, 100%.
Sorry.
Then I guess we're all in agreement that this week's movie is. I'm gonna have to start looking at like the darker movies because I think that like as we've gone way too many weeks where we're all agree that the movie should be on there, and it's time to find one that it does not.
It's time to stop. Sorry, just the meme came into my head. Okay, so stay tanned. I don't even know what I just said there.
Stay tan.
Stay tan.
Stay down. Charlie's here. Stay down. Stay down.
We're Hispanic. We can't be anything but tan.
Fuck off. I'm white as shit. I don't know about you.
Wow.
Stay tuned after this quick little break when we come at you live with our main segment of the show, the main review, which is Ninjascroll. And I swear to God, if you start talking shit. Thank you. You didn't talk shit. Welcome back, everyone, to the main segment of our show, the main review, which is Ninjascroll, my pick. I think it's the first anime movie. I don't think we've done an animated movie at all.
Not together, no.
As a main review.
Yeah, no, not as a main review. No, we've done anime.
Yeah, no, I know that, but as a main review. So Ninjascroll is it's a super, super important movie in the world of anime. It's just like Ghost in the Shell and Akira. It basically, it showed specifically Western audiences that anime wasn't all like rainbows and, you know, sunshine and rainbows and all that shit. It could be gritty, it could be adult oriented and all that stuff. But so basically Ninjascroll, and actually I was reading about this before I get into the plot. The Wachowski sisters, now I guess that you could call them.
Yes,
siblings.
One doesn't identify.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, so the Wachowski siblings actually said that they took inspiration for this movie for The Matrix. Yeah.
I believe it.
So Ninjascroll is about a wandering samurai by the name of Jubei Kibagami. Kibagami. Sorry, I'm reading the names.
Sounded so Grinkified in that one.
Okay, Jubei Kibagami. Is that better? Kibagami?
A little better.
Who rescues this rescues this ninja by the name of Kagero, who is basically about to be raped. Kagero, like cagalera, like you're gonna shit yourself.
Like the shitter?
Yeah, like you're gonna shit yourself. That's a Spanish term. Spanish term of the day. By the way,
all of you taking Spanish classes.
Yeah,
there you go. You got your life lessons from Manbitesfilm.
Yeah, cagalera. So, no. So it's funny. I had never seen this movie. That's why I recommend
Nutter.
I had never seen this movie. That's why I recommended it not only for myself but also, you know, to review for the show. And
I would have been okay without watching it.
Fuck you. After making us watch Cannibal Holocaust, you could choke on a dick. Like, seriously, dude. I think
at least he said
no, like legitimately, I'm gonna be really open with you. That really pissed me off, dude. Like, you made us watch such shit, and I'm not mean, dude. I'd rather make you watch like some like decent. Like, you cannot say this movie was fucking horrible.
No, it wasn't horrible.
There are definitely worse movies, but you were like, "Oh, I was falling asleep in it." Like, he sent us a text like in our group chat saying that this was like the third time he was trying to watch the movie because he kept falling asleep. I'm like, bro, this movie's not that bad.
Dude, it was pretty boring though. Like, I have to admit, the story did not entice me.
No, okay, I agree with you. The plot of this movie is not great, but
that's my.
Okay,
the animation in this is fucking incredible.
My god. The animation,
it is beautiful.
It's that, honestly, I don't give a flying shit about the plot. The plot was fine. It was like, your stereotypical anime, like, I'm gonna beat the bad guy, bullshit, whatever.
Yeah, but it also did those fucking weird, like, Yu-Gi-Oh moments where it's like,
Yu-Gi-Oh. You could choose any anime.
And squirt. And it's like, what?
That's any anime, dude. That's just Japanese culture in general, like, when it comes to their
I
things.
really liked it. I mean, like, I was having a hard time. Well, not a hard time, but it's like, I usually watch foreign movies, but when I watch foreign movies, I watch them in languages that I speak, so I don't have to pay attention to the subtitles. Not understanding what they were saying, trying to read very quickly what was being said.
Because they talk a lot.
And then seeing the animation. Huh?
They talk a lot in this movie.
They do.
Yeah.
It kind of, like, I don't think, like, it didn't kill it for me, but it didn't make it as enjoyable as, like, let's say if it was, like, dubbed in English or whatever.
There is a dub of it, but I don't think the dub is on.
There is, but it's not available on Hulu.
Yeah, it's not on Hulu.
Having said that, I loved the animation purely because it reminded me of the animes I used to watch as a child. It was in the same style. It was in the same, you know what I mean? Like you said, like, it wasn't like all pretty ponies, so to speak. But I like, like, it's gory. It's like you said, like, this girl's about to get raped, and it's almost, borderline hentai.
There was a lot of rapey shit going on in this movie.
Definitely. There's a couple scenes where it's a little bit rapey.
There's definitely a lot of rapey shit, but there was also a lot of cannibal shit going on in the other movie. But, here we are.
There's also a lot of animal cruelty going on in the other film. So.
Yeah.
No, like, I agree. Ironically, so like I said earlier, I had never seen this movie, but I started watching it, and I don't know why. A part of me was like, did I rent this movie as a kid? And maybe I watched it from Blockbuster and I just, like, erased it. Like, I just completely forgot about it. Because that first scene where...
we'd seen it before,
where
Brandon.
Kagero was getting raped or about to be raped by the stone guy.
Yeah.
I remember that scene. I was like, dude, I've seen this scene.
I've watched the movie before. Like, I got through to the end, but it was the English dub, and we actually saw it together because I think I rented it, and I don't remember where I rented it from, but I remember renting it, and I was like, oh, look, you like anime, let's watch this.
Like,
but you were young, you're like fucking in your teens or something.
Yeah, like, honestly,
and, the legacy of traumatizing you as a kid.
It's fine. Honestly, like, when we say rapey shit, it is rapey, but it's not like, it's not bad like Irreversible or any of that shit. Like, they don't like linger on stuff. They don't show you anything that's like horrible.
They move away and they kind of like shy away from shooting it straight on, which is good.
Yeah, no.
But there's some fucking weird shit going on.
Yeah,
I was like,
but there are some scenes in this, like, I agree with Lewis. The plot is not anything out of this world, but the animation, like, there were some scenes, like, specifically, I remember telling myself when he's in the bath in the hot spring, and the chick takes off her dress and she has the snake tattoos.
That shit was
I was
awesome.
like, holy shit, the animation is so good here. And then when he's on the ship and it's burning, and he's fighting Gemma, sorry.
I think my favorite character in this movie is by far the old man. The old guy is just fucking great. That was the only reason I was able to stay awake the last time to watch it.
Yeah. They're like, I enjoyed the movie. I never was bored, but there were some things that I didn't enjoy. Again, the plot. I felt like the romance between them was hokey. And pushed. I was like, why does she like this guy? Like, I don't mind that she enjoys his company. Like, oh, like, we're friends now, but like the whole, like, I love you now. I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
They didn't build it enough.
Yeah, exactly. There's not enough. Another gripe that I have with the movie, I feel like the fights are way too short. Way too short. I would have liked to see maybe less plot, more like grandiose fights to really show off the animation, because the animation is it's top notch in this movie. You know, it's like that early to mid 90s animation where they're like not pulling any punches, and of course it's a film, so their budget is, you know, very high. So other than that, I think the movie's fine. I think the best fight in the film is probably either the stone guy in the beginning or the guy with the Vega looking motherfucker. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
When I saw him, William, do you know who Vega is?
From Street Fighter?
Yes. When I saw him, I'm like, dude, this guy looks like Vega. What the hell?
That's where they grabbed the same animator.
Yeah, they were like, whoa. But other than that, like, I could totally see, maybe, again, not for plot, but like animation standards, and I guess making a movie for like adults, like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. I could totally see why this is like a very influential, you know, anime. So I don't regret watching it whatsoever. It's a cool watch, but I think definitely there are probably better anime movies out there that you could like put yourself through.
Okay, so my thoughts on this is, honestly, I will definitely appreciate the movie for what it did, because this was one of the first movies, if not the first, that actually came over to the United States that's full-on anime, like actual anime.
This is one of the first ones. I think it was like...
It's not like it's not like, what do you call it?
Edited?
It's not toned down.
Yes.
Animation. It's not like fucking Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, it's not that bullshit.
Why do you go for those, man?
Because those were lame. Let's be real.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Shonen animes are the best.
Anyways, moving on. No, like that. I like the grittiness of it. I love the animation style. The animation style, it has this. If you're a fan of drawings and like amazing illustrations and stuff like that, anime used to be really amazing about that.
Yeah, because they didn't cut corners. And again, this is, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I think that this is completely hand-drawn. Now, you know, there's a mixture. You know, some of it's hand-drawn, some of them they're using like computers, or I'm pretty sure they're anime that they use computers like for the entirety of everything. So
most of them, yeah. Most of them nowadays, at least.
Yeah.
And this was completely different. This was something outside of the norms that we were used to for anime. And I'm not a big anime person. I'll be the first person to say that.
This is very true.
I'm not a weeb. I'm not like... I definitely do not watch anime as much as most people out there.
Oh, I'm definitely probably the weebiest of the three. I may be the weebiest in this entire like Manbitesmedia. I don't know, maybe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely. You're probably the weebiest with new anime, because if you were to sit me down and tell me, hey, I have the entire
like Saint Seiya or something
series of like some old school one that I used to watch, I guarantee you I'm sitting and watching anime for like the next 4 days.
No, but like what I mean is
no qualms about it.
What I mean is like I have a subscription to Crunchyroll. Like I stay up to date with like anime that I like, and I also read, you know, manga, however the hell you want to pronounce it. Don't lynch me, please. I say manga, tomato. Yeah, I've always liked anime. It's just, I don't know. I've always thought that like English, I guess Western cartoons are like, they're good, but they're kind of boring. Like Japanese cartoons have this like style to them.
They do. They have more of our artistic style to them. And on top of that, you're able to look at the scenery and see, wow, that is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that I will definitely hold way above any other type of animation. But the storyline sometimes, for me, it drags on way too long. It's like Spanish soap opera boring. And it's like, oh my God, dude, just get to the point. Like, I'm so glad they released a Dragon Ball Z Kai, because I could actually watch that now. It's like, oh my God. Like, I remember when that was out, I'm like, oh my God, get to the point. I'm tired of this fucking constipated fucker flying in the middle of the air for like 10 episodes. I'm like, come on, dude.
I don't know, like,
take your shit already.
Wait, hold on. Who's the constipated fucker?
All of them. The way they power up, it sounds like they're fucking taking a shit.
So,
and struggling.
What I was saying earlier, if this movie had less plot and more fight scenes, like longer fight scenes, to flex with the animation, would you have enjoyed that more than the movie that is
No.
Ninjascroll, or no?
No, because when I think of movie, if it's not like Dragon Ball Z or something like that, or like a show,
Okay.
I don't want fighting movies. I
Interesting.
want a plot in the movie.
Okay.
Which that's the reason why Cannibal Holocaust for me is not a good movie. I want to see a plot. I don't want to just see like grotesque
Yeah,
shit.
like shock factor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said about Cannibal Holocaust. This is a movie that everybody should watch because you could kind of understand and appreciate the movie for what it is.
Don't watch Cannibal Holocaust. If you're an anime fan, I would totally recommend. And you haven't seen this, there are definitely like other like anime films like Jinro, Akira, and Ghost in the Shell that I would totally recommend on top with Ninjascroll.
I would recommend Akira over all of these. Like they by far 100%.
Yeah, like
Akira is a fucking phenomenal movie.
and so is Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is another one that like visually you're like, whoa.
And I haven't seen Neon Genesis, so I've never.
Evangelion is not anything like visually. Okay, I'm gonna get fucking destroyed for this. It is visually striking, but like again, you're talking about a show that the budget isn't as high as a film. So like in the film, like animators don't hold back. They're like, all right, cool, we have millions of dollars. Like let's use this to our advantage, and they really, really show off. Like really clean, slick animation, which they can't show in in a regular television series. So
yeah, exactly. Which that I appreciate that more, and that's why I want to see not only great animation, but I want to see a plot too develop in there. Which is why I like Akira. It's because it has a plot, it has meaning behind it. This doesn't have any past superficial meaning.
Honestly, this movie's about a cool samurai dude that's like killing a bunch of guys, and like looking really cool doing it in anime.
And on top of that, we're spoiled with Studio Ghibli movies that have this amazing plot.
Yeah, that's
super intense plot, and then great animation, and it's Japanese animation as well.
I give this movie a 7. It's okay.
Yikes.
Wow. No, not yikes. A 7. I would give it like a 7. It's okay. Plot wise, but I think that the animation holds really, really well, and the fight scenes are really cool, albeit a little bit short. But other than that, yeah, it's not a bad movie at all. So yeah.
William?
I concur. I give it like a good solid 7. Entertaining, not the best anime that I've seen, but it definitely held its own ground, if you want to put it that way. So I would say definitely.
Okay, Luis.
Okay, so before I get lynched by everybody,
oh God, you're gonna give this like a 2 or 3. I'm waiting, bro.
I appreciate the movie for what it is, but I wouldn't be able to sit down and watch this again. And that is, again, coming from somebody that doesn't appreciate anime. So take it with a grain of salt. If you enjoy anime and you like that kind of movie and stuff
aesthetic
like that,
and all this stuff, yeah.
Like Brandon said, you will enjoy this movie. But for me personally, I give this a 3. I did not enjoy this movie. It took me 3 times to sit through and finally watch it, and I struggled the last time.
I've thought about it, man. I'm like, what is the anime that could change your mind? Like, I know there's like Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, but like, is there any other anime? Maybe like,
it's too long-winded for me.
Not all animes are long-winded, dude. Like, there are some like Cowboy Bebop, 26 episodes, straight to the point.
Cowboy Bebop is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
that's an incredible show. That transcends animation, but like
exactly, and that's a different kind of animation. It's completely different than this.
I wonder if there is some show that is long-winded that even if it's long-winded, you'd be like, I'm gonna give this show a shot. Like I could kind of change your opinion of anime because you the way you talk about it, you sound like you hate it. It's so funny to me.
Again, honestly, it's a lack of exposure. It's the same, and I'm going to be transparent about this. I don't have exposure to anime at all.
Yeah, like Luis and I grew up during like the whole boom of like anime, with like Toonami and stuff like that, and he was.
But I was in high school when it happened, and Brandon was younger.
Yeah, I was.
So he was able to see a lot more.
I was in elementary
and
and middle school when this was happening. So like, yeah, I watched, Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and Gundam and all that stuff, and that kind of opened my eyes, and like I started looking into more anime. And don't get me wrong, there are periods of time, specifically in high school, where I went years without looking at anime. Recently, I've gotten like heavily, back into it with like I said, my subscription to Crunchyroll or whatnot. So, but yeah.
it's a preference thing, and it's the same way that I felt when I first started the show. When we first started this, I never watched documentaries, like actual film documentaries that are not like PBS or Nova or something like that, like this real documentary movies that are actual like film style. And I've been obsessed with them ever since. So I gotta find that one anime that will capture me, besides like the Studio Ghibli films, which are all really incredible.
Yeah.
But I don't consider that anime.
Okay.
Per se.
All right.
Because that's more Americanized animation, I think.
It's actually, speaking of an Americanized animation, I'm going to be talking about one in our next segment. But yeah. So yeah, maybe...
So yeah, 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10, okay. So maybe sometime in the future I can change Lewis's opinion about anime. We will have to see. So stay tuned after this quick little break when we come at you with our final segment of the night. Not live, the individual reviews. Alright guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show, Not Live, the individual reviews. I'm going to be going first. As I said during our main review, I was going to be reviewing something a little bit different, more Western animation, which, so I had heard about the show for a long time. I've heard nothing but fantastic things. This is a Netflix original series, and I decided to watch the first episode and see what the whole, hullabaloo was about. So, and that show is Voltron Legendary Defender, the DreamWorks one, which, yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of it or seen it.
Yes, I have.
I've definitely heard of it.
Okay, so this show is it's animated by Korean studio Mir, which is also the studio that does The Legend of Korra. Mir. It's M-I-R. I don't know how you pronounce it. Mir. I'm gonna say.
I'm just messing with you.
Mir?
I mean, like if it's Korean, it's probably Mir.
Bro, you sound Russian when you said that, but okay, I'm gonna go with it. Mir.
Hey, you. What? Mir.
So yeah, this is, like I said, it's it's animated by the same studio that does The Legend of Korra. That's why the art style is very, like, it's to the T, very simple. I was watching and I was like, bro, this is like Avatar, and then I was like, I looked it up and it's like, oh no, it's Legend of Korra. So this is basically a what the hell is that called? When they're doing it again, a
reboot.
A reboot. Thank you.
Because it's a complete reboot.
Yes, it's a reboot because for anyone that does not know, Voltron is an anime from Japan called Go Lion, I think it is.
Yeah, and then the horrible dubbing that they did for the American audience.
Yeah, which I've seen that. I saw that show. It used to run on I think syndicated television, like WB in the 90s or whatnot.
Yeah, they did. And oh my god.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's really, really, really bad from what I remember.
It's like Power Rangers from back in the day. It's like, yo, no.
Yeah.
This is no bueno.
So the show basically is about a group of 5 guys. Their names are, let me read them because, again, I've only seen the first episode, so they haven't really stuck with me yet. We have Shido, Keith, Lance, Pidge, and Hunk. And basically, some of them are on this, base, this military base, and they're, training to be pilots. And I like the dialogue. It's very witty. The relationship between Lance, Pidge, and Hunk is really cool.
It really is.
If you like Korra and Avatar, it's very much of the same vein. They play off each other very well. The voice actors do an incredible job. And then they meet Shiro and what's the dude's name? Keith, the bad boy. And they basically get one of the lions, and they go through this wormhole, and they talk to this princess. basically called Princess Allura. And she says that this evil alien empire is coming called the Gaura Empire, and they're going to destroy all of, basically, I guess, life. And they are going to be the defenders of the universe with Voltron, and each of them pilots, one piece of Voltron.
Nice.
The first episode is 68 minutes, so it's a nice little like sneak peek to what the show has. The show is finished on Netflix. It's 8 seasons. It has 76 episodes.
Yeah.
Again,
very short seasons.
Yeah, very short seasons. They're very bite-sized.
5 episodes. Yeah.
Definitely, I watched the first episode and I was like, all right, cool. This is like make it or break it. I guess if, I enjoy it, I'll keep going. And I definitely did enjoy it.
You're in for a treat with this show.
Yes,
honestly,
I've heard.
In for a treat.
I've heard. I'm super excited. Again, I really like the characters. I really like where I think they're going to go with them. Their relationships are awesome. Pidge and Hunk are my favorite so far. And the animation is cool. It's like CGI mixed with like, your typical animation from like Avatar, The Legend of Korra.
It reminded me a lot of Titan AE.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. So have you seen a lot of the show, or are you just seen like...
I've seen all of it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was fucking great. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
I really, really enjoyed this. This
awesome.
is, for me, this is probably like an 8 out of 10.
Awesome. So I was gonna tell you, because I wasn't sure if you had seen it, and I know that you're a fan of Avatar. I don't know if you've seen The Legend of Korra, but
yes, I did.
Okay, so awesome. So I was like, oh, if you like that show, you should definitely watch Voltron.
Back-to-back anime champs.
Yeah. So I'm really, really excited to see where this show goes. I'm gonna start watching it after I finish this anime that I'm currently on, Hunter x Hunter. But once I'm done with that, I'm gonna kind of dive straight into Voltron, Legendary Defender. And go.
That's a very original name, Hunter x Hunter. Jesus.
Hunter x Hunter, but I think the X is silent in the middle. But yeah, that's another
silent.
Yeah,
how is that silent?
I don't know. Hunter x Hunter's incredible. It's another anime. It's on Netflix actually. Also, watch it. It's 148 episodes. Fantastic. But yeah, I'm super excited for Voltron, and yeah, I've heard that they really go into like there's a lot of like romance, and like I know that there's a lot of gay relationships in the show that they show and stuff like that. So it's interesting.
Very much. It's done in a way
I've heard it's good.
It's appreciated. Yeah. It's not
like tacked on.
Talked down. Yeah. It doesn't feel forced at all in any way or form.
Exactly.
So it's definitely something that needs to be watched by all if you enjoy any type of animation like that.
Yeah, it's a kid's show, so I think it's fun for an adult and for a child. I would give it a solid like 8, and I'm definitely like super excited to see where this goes. Way more than other shows like at Titans. I don't know if I'll ever go back to that, but Voltron Legendary Defender, I definitely will be finishing the series. So yeah.
Nice. And I am going to be. You said this that one was streaming on Netflix, right?
Yeah, Voltron is a Netflix original series.
Yes. Yep. And the one that I'm actually going to be reviewing is another Netflix original series as well.
Nice. Okay.
Ironically, animated as well.
Ooh. Oh my god, are you doing okay.
Love, Death, and Robots?
I haven't seen it. Is it good? I've seen snippets of it, and it looks crazy.
It's fucking awesome. It's these short little vignettes with these amazing robots that like it's not just about robots, but it's animated about like all these different lives. And the best segment for me is the 3 robots that are on vacation in a desolate Earth, and they are literally stuck like watching all these crazy inventions that existed in humanity. And one of the cool things is like one of the robots is actually Xbox 4000 or something like that. The actual robot is called Xbox 4000, and they stumble across a retro video game store, and they had an Xbox 360, and one of the comments was like, oh, look at that, this is your great ancestor.
Oh my god,
do you want to see inside? And he's like, no, some things are never meant to be opened again. It's just fucking great. And they have like lines that throw shade to every sci-fi movie, show, video game ever in existence. It's fucking great.
This is completely animated, right? There's no like live action whatsoever in the show.
There's one that's kind of fishy. I don't know if it's what do you call it? Very much like what's that style?
Are you talking about the one where she sees like her neighbor across the way do something, and then like it's like a never-ending circle episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's one of the ones that I saw, and I mean I liked it. But it is animated. I just don't know.
It's like they kind of grab like live action with anime and they put the animation on top of it.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. But yeah, it's very interesting. There's one with Hitler in it, which is hilarious. What? Yeah.
Interesting.
It plays fun, and there's some very dark episodes. The only funny, really, really funny one that's not like really dark humor is the one with the 3 robots, and that one is personally my favorite because there's this interesting little plot twist to the short film, and it is just awesome. Anybody that's ever had one of these understands where I'm coming from, and yes, 100% will understand where I'm coming from with it. And that will leave you a nice little suspenseful key to go watch this movie because it's so good and such worth a like, you have to watch these. They're short films. They're only like 15 to 20 minutes, the longest one. And there's, I think, 16 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's 16.
I don't think there's that many.
So, I mean, you could finish the whole thing in 3 hours, basically, is what I calculated. So it's a 3-hour film total.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not that bad at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's well worth it, and every single episode, honestly, is good. In at least good. That one with the 3 robots, though, I probably would put it in my top 25 animated segments.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how good it is. Like, I fucking loved that segment. It's just so great. It's the film builds what Pixar movies take a whole film to do within 15-20 minutes.
Interesting.
And I love Pixar movies. So that tells you how much like I hold it in high esteem.
Yeah.
And it overall, I will give the show overall probably an 8 out of 10.
Awesome.
That segment is a 10 out of 10 though for me.
Okay. I've just been lazy, I guess, and haven't gotten around to it, but I've heard like not even heard. I've just seen like snippets of it, and I'm like, wow, this seems really interesting enough to catch my eye to want to at least maybe try to one of the episodes out, or whatever the snip, like the segments or whatever. So yeah, I guess I'll catch it on Netflix one of these days.
Yeah.
So William, take us home, baby. What are you reviewing?
I am reviewing an oldie but a goodie.
Okay.
So let me start by saying that Deadpool has ruined Ryan Reynolds for me.
Oh my god.
Because anything I see Ryan Reynolds in now, I just close my eyes and imagine Deadpool is like, whatever the movie is, Deadpool's right there doing it.
Of course.
So it literally just came out. I think it was like today. And I love it because having worked in the food industry, it came out at the time that I was working in the food industry, so I totally got it where it was coming from. And the movie I'm talking about is Waiting with Ryan Reynolds.
I don't think I've heard of this movie. Let me look it up. Hear that click clack?
Are you serious? You've never seen Waiting?
No.
I've never seen it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So you guys need to watch this movie. It's great. It literally is a day in the life of, or actually, I even not even a day. It's like it's a shift.
Did you say it just came out?
Like,
No, it's been out since 2005.
No. I mean, like it came out. It came out in 2005, but it came onto Hulu today. And it's literally like a day in the shift, and it's like all these different kind of like servers, and like and I met them all. Like I worked with these people, and even like the managers and the guests or the customers.
I have seen this. My bad. I didn't know the name though.
Yeah, it's got like Dane Cook is one of
the
cook, literally is one of the cooks. It's great. It's funny. It's funny, especially if you've worked in the industry, because you can relate. And there's so few movies that you can like fully relate from start to finish, as into like, I get it. I've been there. This was me yesterday. This was me last week. It was. It's great. It's funny. Like I can't even like hype it up like any more than it is. If you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu now.
And there's a sequel.
Yes, there is.
And there is a sequel. And actually, it's a great transition, because guess what movie I picked for us to watch?
The sequel?
Oh, God damn it.
The sequel's still waiting.
Is it on Hulu also?
Also available on Hulu.
God damn it, so that means you're assigning me 2 movies? Fuck. God
No, why 2 movies? I'm pretty sure you just have to...
Because I gotta watch this again to know what's
going
on.
Like you don't have to watch the first one to get the second. It's just like there's a lot of returning players, yes. But it's not going to, you don't have to watch both of them. It's just, it's funny. And after watching the Holocaust, and after watching anime, and it's like, I just want to sit back and enjoy a movie, and know a movie that all 3 of us will enjoy. Because I believe that all 3 of us will absolutely love this movie. So I give Waiting a good 8 out of 10, because is it an 8 out of 10 movie? Probably not. But because it's so relatable, it definitely brings it up a lot of points. So that's my rating for the movie, and my pick is still Waiting, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this, because, like I said, I think it's one of those like movies that we're all just gonna sit and have a good laugh next week and be like, "Oh my god, this movie's like the best movie ever."
I'm ready. Thank you for choosing something so lighthearted after the shit that Lewis puts us through.
And we'll continue to put through.
Why, man? Why must you do
originally, this? I am letting you know, guys, now, barring like another drop like this, which I'm like, okay, we just need a break and something lighthearted, then my next pick is going to be very hard hitting.
Oh, God.
And it's going to be a documentary. I'm letting you know right now, I am not pushing it. Like, I'm not
People versus OJ.
Making you watch it. No.
Tickled.
It's actually, I know it's going to be a spoiler alert, but I was going to have us watch, because I already watched it, and then talk about it, the documentary on the gymnastics scandal, the Olympics gymnastics scandal, where the doctor abused hundreds of women from Michigan State and the Olympic teams over 20 years. That is coming. That will be probably my pick 3 weeks from now.
Okay.
But like I said, after the Holocaust movie and after the anime, where it was like, it was a mixed bag. I'm like, let's go something lighthearted. But that is coming. That is not, that's on the back burner. But that will be my next pick. But that's it. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, I'm done. Branden, back to you.
Okay, so the pick for next week is still waiting. As always, if you enjoyed our show, always listen to our other shows. We got Niche over at Diversely Geek. We got Man Bites Retro, Candlelit Blowjobs. We have John over at Narcotic Casserole on YouTube. And also, we got our new shows. We got Wizarding World with williamphoenix and Cellar Door with my main man.
Which dropped this Monday, guys. This Monday.
And
yeah.
Cellar Doors with my cousin. And, of course, our new friends, Con Friends. Hey.
Yes, indeed.
He remembered.
I did remember. I wrote it down this time.
And this
Good
week,
boy, have a cookie.
this month, we are going to be doing Marvel Cinematic Universe as a retro.
Yes.
So, and we're going to cap that off with a huge crossover episode with 3 different podcasts.
My God.
So, yes, there's going to be a massive ensemble while William takes his vacation for 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So,
yeah.
All right.
It's going to be a crossover
Which is
of
great
retro.
because I realized that Spider-Man Far From Home, which takes place in Venice, is coming out the same time I'm going to be in Venice.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I know, it's like, what are the odds? But yes, I will be taking a 2-week hiatus because I need to get 2 weeks away from these fuckers. No, I am going to Italy for a couple weeks. And who knows, I may come back and review an Italian movie that's streaming on Netflix in Italy. Who knows?
Awesome.
I mean, right? For our international listeners.
Exactly. So, also for those 2 weeks while he's going to be on vacation, we are going to be taking a hiatus from Manbitesfilm, but we're going to be doing a crossover episode that we'll be posting both on Retro and on Manbitesfilm. So, if you guys want to, this is going to be a callback to Man vs. Film. So, if you guys haven't checked out those episodes, please do. It's going to be very similar to
the most
that, guys.
long-winded outro ever. No, it's okay.
It really is.
Thank you, Lewis.
By the way, remember to follow me on William House of Phoenix Cosplay on Instagram.
Fuck you, man. Thank you, Lewis.
Don't forget my Facebook page.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, William.
Don't forget my phone.
Here's my social.
If you want to check me out on Instagram, you could go to
Nobody wants to check you out, Lewis. Moving on. We're closing the show.
As always, I am Brandon, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Man Bites Film.
Peace.